But I guess what I'm saying is the problem's not small. They invaded Iraq. They started a war with Libya.
It is.
What would you say is why is the problem with the federal government small?
It's a governance problem.
NHexit.org. Are you a rep?
I am, but I am running to do something.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Are you a rep? How bad would things have to get in D.C. before you support New Hampshire independence? So Tim, how bad would things have to get in D.C. to get you on board with New Hampshire independence?
Trump would have to be reelected for starters.
Well, it may happen.
What?
If we even have an election.
I don't trust the people running our country. We'd be about the size of Estonia. Although actually Estonia is not a bad little country. But
It's not.
That guy lived in my dorm in college and became the president of Estonia. So, but we probably end up more like the other country that's the same size as us, which is Swaziland, and that's not so good. But anyway.
Okay. Thanks, Tim. Take care. That's Tim Horrigan. He's a state rep. Are you a rep? Question for you. What, if anything, would you say was your strongest objection to the New Hampshire secession bill that came up this year?
New Hampshire secession bill?
Yeah, the CACR, I forget what the number was.
Yeah, I don't remember the number of it. It just seems like an extreme response to a small perceived problem.
I don't know. I've got a picture in my pocket here of a gal that was violated and murdered by the federal government, and their whole family was wiped out to cover it up in Iraq. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's on Wikipedia. So I don't think there's a small problem.
Well, how does that relate to New Hampshire?
Well, because the federal government did it. If we weren't part of the federal government, we wouldn't have been part of the Iraq war. Does that make sense?
Not necessarily. We would have supported it as an ally.
Well, I guess that's a possibility, yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is the problem's not small. They invaded Iraq. They started a war with Libya.
It is.
What would you say is why is the problem with the federal government small?
It's a governance problem, and we don't either we don't believe in federalism, and we want to separate, or we don't understand how things are supposed to work in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my take on it.
Fair enough. I appreciate your time.
It took me a little while to get back into it, you know.
And you're Representative Henry Noel. Noel. Okay, sorry. All right, thanks for your time. Are you a state rep? Do you work for the state? Yep. I got a question for you. Can you name something you've done from your position to help reduce taxpayer expenditures? Are you a rep? Are you a rep? I got a question for you. This is a picture of the 14-year-old Javier Hamza. She was violated and murdered by U.S. troops in Iraq. You're late or something? Do you have some sort of excuse for why you're not answering my question? All right. I guess I don't exist when you're looking at me from that guy's face. Are you a state rep? Question for you. This is a picture of Javier Hamza. She was violated and murdered by U.S. troops in Iraq, and then they killed her family to cover it up. Why should New Hampshire stay in a union that does things like this?
Why should New Hampshire stay in a union that does that?
In the United States.
Because this is a state government, that's a federal government. We're two separate entities.
Estonia was once a SSR, and then it became an independent country?
That's my answer, and that is appalling. Absolutely appalling, and that's my answer. It's just appalling. And I'm sorry about it. My heart breaks every day. I see the kids in Gaza shaking and the videos of them. It really does. So
there's something you can do about it.
thank you.
She could, if she wanted, vote yes on secession next time. The U.S. runs this. This and this. So why should we let it run this? Fed up New Hampshireites have placed secessionist legislation in front of the whole state house. They made the politicians vote on it, and they're gonna do it again. But they need your help. Stop hacking at the branches of your suffering. Join the project that strikes the root. NHexit.org